Alright, what's going on, you guys? It's Resto, and in today's video we're going to be covering my bread and butter, the 20 Twink balance Druid. As per usual, we're going to keep this video short and sweet and to the point. Like all the other guides and future guides to come, we're going to keep this guide tailored to wargaming, as it's not worth promoting retail in its current state, being a current one-shot fest. However, don't worry, stand by. If you still are into that degenerate behavior, I will show pug information. The stat priority for the balanced Druid is going to be haste versatility, 50-50 of the haste and versatility. You honestly want to go for both, obviously for damage reasons, and haste to increase your dot ticks and cast speed. I have seen other builds used by other Druids, including a little bit of mastery in their build on top of haste and verse, and I've also seen a little bit of crit on top of haste and verse. Both are very viable builds and have their own purpose. However, I promise you will be such a superior boomy just running pure haste versatility. The gear that you see on the screen right here is exactly what I wore in the gameplay. With the enchants that I have on now are no longer allowed with the recent buffs that balance have gotten to their dots. So to be able to balance out those buffs, we remove the enchants and has stamina only. So that's the only change that you're going to make with this build. As far as the pug side of things go, this right here is what you're going to be running. I'm going into the pure intellect gems as well as a little bit of the Shadowland gems. You don't want to go too heavy. I personally want to capitalize on my damage while having a little bit of a bonus to my speed. On the topic of gems, when it comes to the war games, you're looking at the solid Empyrean Sapphire, and then for the pug side of things, you're looking at the brilliant Ornate Ruby. And then you have your Shadowland gems spec'd into how I have it. It's giving you that little leverage on your speed increase, but not too much to where you're losing out on your damage. As far as the talents go, this right here is what I'm currently running. It's going into a little bit of the toolkit, giving us more CC as well as instacast to put out more damage and amping up our dots in general. Then as far as the professions go, you're looking at leatherworking for the leg enchant and inscription for the shoulder enchant. When covering the gameplay for the balanced Druid, it's honestly not that complex. It just requires a lot of awareness and understanding what is around you. And what I mean by that is if you're following the build that I provided on the screen, you're going into a range CC build and running beam. If I'm going to be 100% honest with you, if you are not running that talent, you are trolling as a balanced Druid. Setting up beam followed up with a root puts a healer in a really bad position and forces either a Twink, which allows you to set up a kill for the FC, or it also helps set up a kill in the team fight while you guys are trying to control mid. The biggest thing that you want to focus on when it comes to the balanced Druid is setting your dots on every single player that you see. Rotting damage is going to win the game. You're going to have players tell you that the Star Surge is going to be the winning factor, and that is the most important thing. However, that is true, but it is not entirely right. You do want to make sure you're padding damage to its max, because those dots are going to help set up kills. So if you're not actively killing a target, you're going to dump your astral power into Starfall, allowing more of a rot to happen in the radius until you're able to get more astral power and set up an actual kill with your team when the time is right. The biggest thing that people fail to understand and just realize in general is padding isn't all about topping meters and doing a lot of damage. It's about rotting your team to the ground. When you have full dots on somebody on top of Starfall, rotting the enemy team down in a team fight, this not only sets up multiple kill targets, but this puts the enemy team at a great disadvantage because it's forcing the healers to expend a lot of mana, allowing your healers to thrive in those fights and last longer. While Boomy does have good single target damage with Star Surge, I'm telling you right now, the one other thing that I'm focusing on as well is rotting the enemy team down in the process. If you really want to play Boomy at its peak and min-max the hell out of it, there is going to be a zero downtime on the class. You're constantly going to be pressing buttons, whether it's reapplying a dot, putting out Starfire, or attaching a Star Surge into the enemy's throat. I have yet to be outperformed by another Boomy following these simple standards. If you do so as well, you will also thrive above others. Outside of that, that is the basics to the balanced Druid. There really is nothing else to it outside of that. Obviously, there's other tactics that you can do when it's coming into stealth, going onto the enemy team, ambushing an FC, etc. I can go into depth immensely on that, but we're just sticking to the basics when it comes to these guides. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video here. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you really like to give it a favorite, commenting is free, as well as subscribing. It's been Resto, guys. See you guys next time.